Okay, so g'day and welcome back to Gumadi's Coins and Banknotes, and today we are looking at Ethiopia's current banknotes. So these are the banknotes that we issued in 2020, along with one of the banknotes of the previous series. So we have a green 10 birr, and the currency of Ethiopia is 1 birr equals 100 centime. But basically, with the current exchange rate, which we'll talk about in a minute, the centime coin's probably not in circulation. We have the 50 birr, so there is no 20. We have the 100, which is blue, and the 200, which is purple. So if you go to Ethiopia, make sure you don't get confused between these two. They look quite similar, they're the same size. It's just that the design and the numeration is different. So now we'll get to those in a minute. The previous banknotes were the 1 to 100 birr. And when these were introduced in 1976, the exchange rate was 2.5 birr equals $1. The current exchange rate is 132 birr. So this series has lost a lot of value since 2023. So 2023 is when the Ethiopian government decided to get an IMF loan. So that IMF loan means they had to float their currency. When they floated their currency, it crashed like a brick. So it went from basically... Okay, now for the exchange rate. The banknotes were issued in 2020, so it's around here. So we just say in the middle, it's about 36 birr, but they range from about 30 to 40 birr. Yeah, we just say 35 birr equals $1. And then they got the IMF loan here. It's at 57, so it's losing value anyway. Then overnight, it just went to 100, so pretty much it lost 100% of its value. So not saying that 100%, we're talking about inflation was 200%. So that means it went from something that cost 1 birr and cost 2 birr. So it's double the price. And now it continues to lose value. So 24 continues to lose value slowly. And currently it's 134 birr equals $1. If we go back, where's the other one? Everyone's better. So that's the interest rate in Ethiopia. Minimum savings rate 7%. Currently it's 15%. And here's the exchange rate on their website. And here we have another inflation rate. And we can go back to 2003, and it was 8.26 birr equals $1. So this is why I don't like to collect many current banknotes from Africa, because I know in the future, 20 years time, they're just going to be worthless. And that is generally the case now. We've seen that with Ethiopia. We've seen it with Nigeria. Ghana's doing the same thing. Now, the Congo hasn't done it yet, but it's slowly creeping up. And so on. South Africa is the same. So, basically, I would only buy these banknotes after they've lost value. And that's what I didn't do here. So, here we have the 1 birr. And we're going to have a look at the other banknotes along with the other denominations. So the only banknote in circulation from the old series is this one, the 5 birr. And the last print run, I think, was 2017. Although someone can... I would say they probably printed over banknotes. They're supposed to issue a coin. But I'd say because of the rapid devaluation of the banknotes, the actual currency itself, they have revalued that. So they're probably going to issue a bimetal coin. But now that's only worth about 5 cents. This is worth about 5 cents. And the bimetal coin, to make one, would just be too expensive. So I reckon they're going to issue a newer coin, as long as a smaller 1 birr coin, which is currently a bimetal coin. It's too big, very expensive to make. Okay, so we have these ones which are all single color and they're a lot better. So we have the 10 burr, which has only one print, 2020 so far. There will be other dates later on. And as you can see, it's in Amharic, which is one of the languages of Ethiopia. Although Oromo is more widely spoken, they speak Somali and Afar and Tigray, and a lot of smaller languages in one of the southern regions. And in this one we have he's holding coffee. So coffee originated from Ethiopia, and it's a very popular drink these days. I usually have one or two a day. We also have a camel, and we have a lion. So the lion, or the Lion of Judea, was used on Ethiopian banknotes during the empire. It's also on the flag, and it's related to the Jewish, I think King Solomon of Judea, and the Ethiopians monarchs declared that they were an ancestor of them. So that's why they use a lion. Here we have a map of Ethiopia. So if you're not too sure where the other countries are, okay, let's see. So up the northern border, let me draw on the banknote. So on this border we have Sudan. Here we have Eritrea. Now this little pocket here is Djibouti. Somaliland is here. Somalia is here. Yes, I did say Somaliland. We have South Sudan's along this region, and Kenya and Uganda are around here. Although I think the border between Ethiopia and Uganda is quite small. Okay, so we have segmented security thread, pretty common these days. Watermark is, where's the watermark? Okay, it's whatever. Okay, so it's just that image there. And this is a security feature as well on both sides. And these two lines here for the blind, which a lot of countries have these days. If we turn it over, those two round circles should line up. On this side, this is supposed to be two couples, but they could also be brothers and sisters, or maybe just other family members, or even just friends. Who knows what this represents anyway. And here we have what looks like some type of instrument, or it could be a storage vessel. If anyone knows, please let me know. Yeah, so these ones you could probably pick up for less than $5. We have the 50 burr. So this one has mechanized tractor ploughing a field. And once again with the line, we have the countries. So the country also has the denomination. And we have 4 dots here. Not 4 dots, 4 lines. You can see the segmented security thread is holographic treated. So we have, just zoom in. Okay, it should be, I don't know, I can't read that myself. Oh, it says NBE. Yeah, but I don't know. Yeah, I don't think the shifting green is anything. It's just lines. And in the background we have we've got microprint in this. Could be lettering, not too sure. It could be just dots. So in the background, oh yeah, we do have microprinting in that. It says burr. Okay, and that's in the field. So microprinting is becoming more common on banknotes and coins. Microprint minting. And on the back we have a industrial plant, probably for smelting, especially with the furnaces in the background. And the watermark is tractor. So that's the watermark. It's pretty faint. And this one, the exchange rate is about 50 cents, but you probably, once again, probably at $5 to $10. These banknotes are not that cheap compared to the value. So we had the 100 bird. This is roughly equivalent to $1 Australian, slightly less US dollars, and $1.16 exactly in Australia. And on this side we have the Emperor Fasilides Castle in Gondar. No, not Gondor, in Gondar. And here, that's in Amhara region, so it's one of the regions, Ethiopia, where the dominant language is Amhara. And here we have the obelisk of Aksum. So Aksum's one of the earliest empires and one of the few African states that issued coins, along with Carthage, Egypt, Numidia. So they're all pretty much in North Africa, the places that issue coins by themselves. Okay, Mauritania. Okay, so once again we got the holographic segmented security thread, and the prefixes. So this is the FF, and they all start at A. So there is not like the the Mauritanian banknotes I saw before, which the lowest denomination started at A and the highest started at F. This is the latest series, is 2023. So obviously this is a popular banknote to use. And if you go to Ethiopia, a lot of these are probably dirty, okay, because of extended use. So on the back we have the Sof Omar Cave in the Bali Mountains, and I believe that's a national park in Bali province. So, but that province was divided into the Oromia, so the Oromo and the Somali regions. And now this cave is in the Oromia region of Ethiopia. And it's a karst formation, so that means it's made of limestone, and the water flowing through it reacts with the limestone, so carbon dioxide in the water reacts with the limestone and slowly dissolves it. So if the cave is flooded and stagnant, it will dissolve it to a certain point until the water gets saturated, and then it doesn't do anything anymore. So, and then you just got friction that would dissolve any water, any limestone, should I say. And on the other side, we have, looks like an entrance. If anyone knows where that place is, it could be the entrance to the actual cave, but I'm not too sure. Anyway, the watermark is, turn it over that side, is, looks like Aksum building, and so these two images here. So anyway, that's quite nice. Aksumite coinage is actually quite expensive. And the highest denomination, which is about $2.30. So in 2003, the highest banknote had a value roughly equivalent to $10. And now the highest valued banknote is roughly equivalent to $2. So that's what inflation does to your currency, along with devaluation. Okay, it has the P stub, the lion, and a different style of the Ethiopian map. So it's actually quite nice. And promise paid bearer on demand 200 birr. Well, this is 200 birds. They're not going to pay you anything. No gold, no silver, no nothing. The watermark is the dove as well. And once again, we have microprinting. So I would expect that in the future there's going to be higher denominations. 500 and 1000 birr should be issued sooner or later as well, because as the economy grows, you can't really survive with banknotes of these values. You just need a huge amount of banknotes, which is a problem with inflation. Okay, then on the other side we have a, what animal is that? Oh, Nubian ibex on one of the mountainsides in probably southern Ethiopia. And the watermark, pity you can't see it that well. Even though these are printed in Germany, the watermark should be a lot stronger. Although with the value of these banknotes, probably not worth it, because when they issued them, what was it, about 50? So this was equivalent to roughly $4 US. Now it's worth less than $2 US. Anyway, if you're going to buy these banknotes on the internet, they cost about $20. Usually, when you're buying banknotes, what you'll be paying is probably double the face value, so which is pretty normal because you can't get these for less than face value. And then you got other things you have to pay for. So they will probably buy them off the central bank for probably face value a little bit, and then they would be passing the highest cost on to you. Okay, so let's compare them with the older banknotes. So they changed the colour of the banknotes. So this one's a little bit lightish. This one's a lightish green. This one's darkish green. And they just changed the images. Actually, no, it's brown. I'm colourblind, remember? Okay, so you can see the differences. The sizes are the same. And a lot of things are similar, like where they place the 10 in Western Arabic as well as Ethiopian numerals. The placement of the serial number. But most of the other images is different. Here we have the backside and the older banknotes. So these ones have been demonetized, so you shouldn't be accepting those if you're in Ethiopia. Then we have the 50. So this one's like a reddish. The top one is yellowish color. So this is how countries tax your value. They issue banknotes of a different color and they demonetize the other ones. Not all countries do it. Obviously, Ethiopia has done it. And Eritrea also done it. They issued newer banknotes, same design, just different color. And here we have the back. So different again. And then we have the 100 birr, which is also the top one. So it was a green, now it's a blue banknote. And 2012, 2023. And the other side is what you should. So these banknotes you should not be accepting in Ethiopia. These ones you can, but I would be careful. Make sure you know your currency before you go to somewhere else. Anyway, hope this helps you with your banknotes of Ethiopia. If anyone has any questions, please leave them down below and let me know which banknote is your favourite. Anyway, thank you very much. Have an awesome coin and banknote collecting time and take care.